The first thing that I would do would be to include the day's date and the class, because sometimes we might be teaching for more than one class, and this would be a way to keep them connected. So the day's date and the class. The next thing that I would do would be to broadly list objectives. What do I want students to be able to do by the end of the class? For example, I might be teaching the present progressive tense, and by the end of the class, I want them to be able to communicate what they are doing at the present time. The next thing I would do would be to talk about what methods I would use. That could be a mini lecture, for example. It could be going over material in the book. It could be small group discussions. It could be guided practice. In other words, that's when the instructor will show the students what he or she wants, go through it together as a class, and then put them into smaller groups so that they can practice. I might also use a film. I might use a song. So I'd want to plan in advance all the different methods that I might use. The next step would be to think about what materials are needed. For example, if I'm going to give a lecture, I need to have my PowerPoint prepared. I need to bring my laptop to school, make sure that the projector is working in the classroom. I might also need certain pages from the textbook, and in that case, I would ask students in advance to bring their books to class. I might also require that students bring their homework from the previous class so that we could use this for practice in session. The next thing I would think about would be assessment. When I come to the end of the lesson, what will I do? How will I assess or how will I evaluate if students have in fact reached the goals or the objectives that I have laid out? This could be in the form of a quiz, it could be a test, it could be pairs practicing together and performing in front of the class. Again, it could be small groups where the instructor goes around and monitors each group and assesses if the students have in fact learned what was the objective for the day. The next thing I would do, and this would be after the class, would be to think about what the next day's goals would be and to think about prerequisites. If in fact the students have mastered the present progressive, um, do I think that they need more practice with it? Would I give them homework? Normally in my classroom, students have homework every day. So they would have something to take home to practice, and then that would give us a starting point for the next day's lesson. So normally that would include homework. And I would sit through and look through the curriculum. I would look through my syllabus and see, where the next grammar point or see what the next um, activity would include.